Hello, welcome to the Cup Night channel. My name is Shane, and today I'm going to be doing a reading for you connected to the energy of the planet Uranus in Taurus. Um, yeah, as you can see here, there's Uranus, this tiny little dot right on the joint of the bull here, the way it's depicted here, right below the Pleiades, like directly below it, which is pretty cool. Um, Yeah, and if we look at the chart, you can see Uranus is indeed in Taurus, conjunct the Imam Cheli right now, which is the opposite of the midheaven, or the medium Cheli. This is all about foundations. Actually, I'm just going to read what they have because they have these cool little descriptions on this tool here, which is the truesky.masteringthezodiac.com if you're curious. But yeah, with Taurus, Imam Cheli, your emotional foundation is built on stability and comfort. You find security through material, safety, and routine. Your private life involves learning to create sanctuary and peace. So there's a heavy emphasis on sanctuary and peace, and the way that you find security through material means and routines. And then if we look at Taurus, Uranus and Taurus, you revolutionize values and material security. You innovate with resources and redefine stability. Change comes through practical breakthroughs. Yeah, so you might be switching things up a little bit, trying out different things, see what sticks, you know, switching up those routines, see what's valuable for you. And then finally, we were dealing with the fourth house, Uranus in fourth house, creates an unconventional home life or family background. You need freedom in your personal life and may experience sudden changes in living situations. You're redefining what home and security mean. Yeah. So I'm definitely experiencing this in my reality now. I am in a very strange position where I never really thought I would end up. Living with my boyfriend's grandma while we uh, renovate another property, and it is a pretty strange situation. So there could be lots of changes to your current living situation on the horizon. We'll keep that in mind. But you can see it's at 8 degrees exact, so the number 8 coming through strong here, given that eighth house scorpionic energy, which has been very prevalent. The sun is actually just now entering Scorpio. As you can see, its little glyph is right here at the very beginning in the 10th house. Um, yeah, interesting. On the pre-shuffle, we got the 8 of Pentacles. So the 8 coming through again here. But yeah, routines, right? There's an emphasis on materials with the Pentacles and routines with specifically this 8 of Pentacles. And finally, these routines seem to be a devotion to a particular vision that you have. This archetype has been coming up in my readings lately. So yeah, this idea of being dedicated to this very specific vision that you're holding, right? You can see those hands, they're holding this inner vision here, and it's this really kind of like psychedelic depiction of how this inner vision relates to these outer parts of ourselves as well. There's something about your wise devotion to these routines, to this vision, right? With these double owls coming through too. Yeah. So the energy today is very interesting, and with Uranus, I expect nothing less. Uranus is known as the Great Awakener, the Great Disruptor, right? Um, Associated with the Tower card, the energy of the Tower card. So sudden, exciting, explosive changes, those kinds of things, unexpected events, and whatnot. And yeah, today we actually have a little guardian here for this reading, and I didn't know what kind of bug it was, but I'll try to show you with my webcam here. If I can excuse the messy desk, but maybe you see him there or her. I'm not a bug expert, so I don't really know. But yeah, these bugs are, I see them all the time around here where I'm at in Colorado. And I looked it up, I took a picture and asked Perplexity, what kind of bug is this? And it told me that it was an assassin bug. I'll read you because it feels relevant to today's message. So it says it looks like a nymph assassin bug. So it's in the immature stage, the very beginning of its life cycle. Of the wheel bug, Aurillus cristatus, or a related species within the Reduvidae family. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Assassin bugs are common in Colorado and elsewhere in North America. They are beneficial predators that feed on other insects. Yeah, so it's a beneficial little guardian that we have with us today. There is a warning in here though. So it says these bugs have a distinct angular appearance with long legs and a narrow head, and nymphs are often brownish or reddish, camouflaging well with twigs and debris. If disturbed, they can deliver a painful bite, so it's best to observe them without handling. Assassin bugs play an important ecological role by helping control pest populations. If you'd like more specific identification, blah blah. Anyway, so I thought it was interesting that these bugs, if this is an assassin bug, I think it is, um, help control pest populations. Because in one of my recent readings, I think from sometime last week, the word, one of the nouns that came up, the random nouns that I pulled was pest. Oh, hold on just a second. Yeah, you both. Okay. Okay, there you go. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Trouble with the cats. My cat Lenny is you can kind of see him in the background there, but he's very feisty sometimes. He likes to start fights with my boyfriend's grandma's cat. And Nezzy, get you not come here. What are you doing? Yeah, so there's a very chaotic energy about lots of animals, bugs that are not normally around, ones that can potentially deliver painful bites, right? The assassin bug there. So, and that's like the energy Lenny is giving off right now as well. He's picking fights. He's very calm now, though. He's always calm with me. He's never mean to me. So you might have these. What I'm getting from this is this very like protective energy. Yeah, it's like you might have animals around you. You might even notice some bugs around you that have this like protective theme or aura about them, or it's in their nature, right? And you just notice them around you. So definitely be thankful for that because, yeah, I mean, who doesn't want protection, right? But that is coming up for sure. And that definitely has a lot to do with the fourth house because the fourth house is like our, and not only that, we have the Imam Cheli, which is about foundations too, right? So double foundational energy here, but also this like idea of protection because the fourth house is the home, right? It's your foundations are kind of like your defenses as well. If you don't have a firm foundation to start from, then you are probably not going to have very good boundaries and defenses in dealing with things in your life, right? But the stronger our foundations, then the more prepared we are to deal with unexpected things, just like that. I wasn't, expecting, but sometimes, things happen, fights happen, and you just got to contend with it. You got to be willing to face the challenging energies that life can throw at you sometimes and just kind of roll with it, do your best. But you can be better prepared by building up those foundations. Yeah. So I'm really liking already where this message is going. I'm excited to see what comes out in the cards, but we're going to start with a saying. So I'm just going to get one. I'm going to randomize here. Spirit, please give us the most relevant saying for the message of today. Thank you very much. Wow, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah, this is what I was just talking about, right? It's like it's this idea of like, well, for one, we have this idea of biting coming through again because like even in the description of the assassin bug, it was talking about how they're beneficial insects. They help control pest populations. They help keep, the pests at bay, right? But also, you don't want to mess with them because they could potentially bite you and it will hurt. So they have their own very firm boundaries. But then again, with this saying, it's this idea of like I was saying with Lenny, he will fight other animals and, start stuff. But when it comes to me, I can just, even if he's riled up, I can just go pick him up and he won't scratch me or bite me or anything. It's this idea of not biting the hand that feeds you. It's this idea of like thinking about fourth house energy and family, right? You might find yourself in a situation where maybe you don't necessarily get perfectly along with the people around you all the time, but you realize that they are doing you a huge favor by allowing them to live with, allowing you to live with them or providing resources, things like that. So you don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? You realize that they are doing you a service. They are helping you out, even if you don't like, even if your personalities clash every now and then. But it's this idea of being grateful, but also respecting your differences and not lashing out over the little things, over the pests, right? Keeping pests at bay, because they're just pests, and there are other things that will handle those for you, like the assassin bug. Okay. Let's get some nouns and then I will, or no, sorry, let's do a figure and then I will draw some cards. Another animal. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we got a horse. Yeah. And it's in a very like particular pose. Like it's I forget what it's called. What is it? Dressage when they ride the horses around and they do these like prances, it's almost like they're dancing. I think it's dressage or dressage. Um, but it's this like elegant form, right? I mean, look at that horse. Yeah, it's strutting its stuff, right? Showing off, being very independent. And horses are, you know, they're healing creatures. They're used in therapy. There's literally a thing. It's horse therapy, right? Because they are very healing, gentle creatures. They can be, but they can also be very fiery and they're fast and they can deliver painful kicks, right? Like deadly kicks. So once again, it's this idea of like a guardian. It's this guardian spirit coming through this idea of protection and but also balance and elegance. It's yeah, this is cool. It's really cool. Okay, let's get some archetypes and then I will draw some tarot cards. The assassin bug is now facing me as I'm recording this reading. I'm a little like I like it, it's cool, but I'm also a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because now that I've read about like the painful bite thing, I'm just like, I hope it doesn't see me as a threat because I'm sitting right in front of it. I'm feeling a good vibe from the assassin bug. It's chill right now. It's just chilling on this little wire, this little webcam wire. It is literally sitting on this video feed. Like it's sitting on top of this. It's almost like it's like watching over the recording of this message. That's pretty cool. Okay. Looks like we got three that fell out together there, so we'll go with those. On the bottom, we've got the shapeshifter and the number 15 coming through, or the number 6 if you reduce it to its digital root. So shape-shifting energy, right? This is to me, this is that idea of rolling with it, right? It's like you adapt to your circumstances and you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You recognize when people are doing you favors. And even if you don't 100% get along with them all the time in every way, that's okay. There's this mutual respect because of the situation. So, yeah, to me, it's that kind of energy. It's taking in the whole picture and not just focusing in on like, oh well, me and this person don't get along, so you know, I'm gonna be miserable. No. It's saying that you can still have fun where you're at and have your own space and set up your own boundaries, but also you can be nice and courteous and grateful for the things that um, the people or the circumstances or whatever it is for you provides for your life at this time, because nothing lasts forever. Circumstances change, right? Shapeshifting. The circumstances will shapeshift over time. Nothing is the same forever. Energy is constantly in motion and changing, and the larger narratives eventually they come to an end, and then another larger narrative starts, right? I'm getting all kinds of messages right now, which is really weird because normally I don't get them around this time of day. Um, so there's this once again, there's this very chaotic energy of like things just like pinging around. It's very interesting. The assassin bug is on the move. He has, or she, is now moving off of the wire and onto my little book of it's the pocket archetype books for these, the descriptions for these cards. I don't ever really use it in readings because I understand the archetypes pretty well at this point, but yeah. But yeah, it's interesting that it now this little guardian insect has now moved onto, since I started doing the archetypes, onto the book that contains the information related to these. I'll try to show you again just because I think this is fun. I like this energy. I don't know if you can see it there, but I don't want to get too close because, like I said, firm boundaries, but kind of there on the corner. I want to respect the our boundaries here. I want to appreciate this assassin bug for its role and what it does, eliminating those annoying pests, but also I'm not going to encroach on its space because I respect. Because we have that respect. I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me, right? Or threaten the hand that feeds me in some way. Whenever I first saw this little bug, I got this like alien feeling too, because bugs are kind of like aliens on Earth, right? They're so different from humans. They like the way they experience life and what their role in nature is and everything. It's so different from us. And and anytime I see a bug, I always think alien energy, right? It's like this absolute other that has this just like completely foreign way of experiencing reality that, we probably, I can't imagine, right? It would be very hard. Like, how could you? How could you know unless you literally like somehow could transfer your consciousness into the bug somehow? All right. So we got the eternal child. Yeah, to me, this is the energy of play and curiosity and just being in touch with that energy of joy and curiosity. The number four again coming through. So fourth house energy here. Foundations, right? Our foundations start when we're children, right? We have the offering. Okay, so with the offering coming out here, to me, this is once again, going along with that don't bite the hand that feeds message. It's this recognition that there is a dynamic at play where you are possibly in a position of receiving help in some way, or you're being given a place like a home, like to live, right? Fourth house energy. I mean, in my case, that's literally the situation. But it's this idea of giving back, right? That even if, you know, the situation is not 100% ideal. I mean, situations hardly ever are 100% ideal. That's just the way life is. You got to take the good with the bad. But it's giving back. It's realizing how much you have to be thankful for and then allowing yourself to play a role um, in contributing to making it a healthy, stable environment. And then finally, we have the medallion. So some kind of sacred object, um, or something that is calling you, right? It's calling you forward. Yeah, and in this case, the it kind of looks like it's an amulet, but it's kind of giving me compass vibes. So it's almost this sense of like directionality. And if you look very closely at that object, you see it is a square shaped diamond in the center there. So once again, this idea of four of stability. It's like a stable direction. Yeah, what I'm getting, because, and the sun is really highlighted on this Eternal Child card. So it's this idea of the ego, right? Self-expression. So, and then with the offering, this is the idea of service to others, right? So it's this balance between your ability to interact with the world in a childlike way, to have fun, to play, to do the things you like to do, and then also balanced with service and things you can do for others. The way that you can give back to the guardians in your life, right? The people who are providing that stable fourth house energy for you at this time. How can you honor them? How can you give back to them? How can you offer something up in an elegant way, right? I mean, once again, this the horse here, it's this yeah, it's just this elegance. That's the only thing I'm getting really from this horse is just this pose. It's just so like for one, it's very authentic and it's not ashamed to be what it is. It's like, here I am, this is what I have to offer, and this is my best pose. Let me strike my best pose really quick. Now what can I do for you? It's the balance of our self-expression and our ability to use that authenticity to help other people, to shapeshift into new roles that maybe we didn't think that we ever would, right? Yeah, we're constantly recreating ourselves. All right, the assassin bug has now climbed onto my laptop screen, and it is kind of like it's giving me this very childlike energy, right? Because it's exploring the environment, and I get the feeling that it doesn't really feel threatened because of it is just like slowly moving about, and it doesn't really seem to care about me. It's just kind of doing what it wants to do. So I feel we have this pretty good relationship going here. Like, I'm okay with this bug being there and kind of doing its own thing. And it's okay with me sitting here doing my own thing, right? Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like this energy it's bringing me. Okay. Let's get some tarot cards. Yeah. So immediately on the split, this unbothered energy with the Four of Cups, right? And that's really what it's given me is just unbothered, just completely chill. Like, and once again, Four of Cups, right? Just stable, like solid foundational, like absolutely relaxed energy. I say that, and now the I feel like I need to name this bug. And I had this thought earlier, and the first thing that came to me was Rafina. I don't even know where that's coming from. I've never heard. Maybe I've heard that name in passing somewhere. I don't know what it means or where it came from, or if it's like a character from a show or something. But that's what's coming to me at this point. So, Rafina is now sitting on the edge of the little pocket archetype book and just kind of like directly pointed at me. So I am getting a little nervous again. In fact, I'm gonna put my glasses on really quick just so I can get a better look. Yeah, I mean, it's just Rafina is just chilling. Rafina is just chilling. And Rafina is in the like next to the vent on my laptop, so it's Rafina is getting all this hot air, and that probably feels pretty good. Okay. Okay. That's a lot. We'll take them. We will take them. Six of Wands on the bottom. So some kind of public victory, celebration energy coming through here. There is collaborative energy. Yeah, definitely. Once again, all these guardians and, animals and bugs and everything coming through this message right now. Yeah. We have the Devil. I saw this card on the pre-shuffle too. I had a feeling. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Gotta censor myself here. I had a feeling this card would come out. Capricorn energy, Saturnian energy. Something very solid, a very solid collaboration. It's almost like everything is kind of like settling into place. And now you are becoming more comfortable with your environment and the way things are unfolding. You're not afraid to strike your poses. Yeah. But there is some kind of really big ending, massive transformation that may be not necessarily the most comfortable thing, but I mean, look at all that yellow underneath the black clouds there. It's, the sun is coming up. The worst part is over is what I'm getting from this Ten of Swords. The worst part is over. And I have been pulling tens left and right in my readings for the past like 2 weeks. So there is this really big energy of a major completion of some kind. Justice. Yeah, the sun just left Libra. It is now in Scorpio at the very beginning of Scorpio, and Justice is the Libra card of the tarot. The number 11 coming through there. But yeah, something's balancing out, right? Like I said, it's like settling. It's things are evening out. It's, you know, you may have been kind of hoping for this like this fairness, this kind of like just being stable, being balanced in your environment. Maybe you felt very unstabilized for a long time, and now you're finally starting to feel this sense of balance and peace. Justice and Judgment. Wow, so three majors came out together: Judgment, Justice, and the Devil. But yeah, Judgment to me is the call to action card. It's this wake up, time to go, you know, um, come as you are, you know. It's funny because the card is called Judgment, and in a way, like a call to action is kind of like a judgment because it's like, well, whether you're ready or not, let's go. It's time. The trumpets are blowing, the alarms are sounding, it's happening. Time to get your butt in gear. I mean, you can literally see their butts on the screen. So yeah, and the number 20 coming through there. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's your environment, the collaborative energy in your environment is evening out. You have completely changed the way that you mentally process something. And it may have been very painful to get to this point, right? But now things are becoming, the energy is becoming more fluid. And there is something important that you are being asked to do, right? Let me cover up like just the bottom of this, right? Because I mean, these people are rising up out of their coffins, right? To answer this call. They're coming back to life. It's like fresh energy is being injected into the environment, into the situation. Just looking at Rafina again. Rafina has turned their back to me, and now I can see more like their wings and their like um, antennas kind of like splitting off like this. It's really cool. New angles. Yeah, there's new angles, new positions that you can take on things in your environment. things that are living, like animals, bugs, people, maybe, are showing you new sides of them. They're more comfortable with you now, so they're more willing to reveal more of themselves to you, and you might feel the same. You're now more willing to reveal more of yourself to others, right? Really expressing your inner light, offering it up to those around you, to the environment around you. And really connecting with something solid, something physical, right? It's almost like this is giving me that receiving energy because that hand is reaching out for this medallion and it's shining so brightly and it's just coming straight for that hand. So there may be something like a flow of material resources, whether that be money or just like, I don't know, groceries, food, whatever, however it comes to you. But it's like this fresh influx of new energy. It's kind of like coming into your home environment, whatever that is. Fourth house, right? We're dealing with the fourth house. Okay, let's get some nouns. Nouns, and I'm going to reduce them because there's usually a lot. I just want three. Actually, you know what? Let's do four. Fourth house, right? Okay. Jeans, salt, stranger, office. Okay. Uranus energy coming through with these unexpected words. This might take me a second for jeans. Okay, let's talk it through. So let me take a sip of my green tea really quick. Cheers. This one's to Rafina and Lenny and Mezzy and the horse figure, all the guardians, right? All the protective spirits in my life and yours. Cheers. Okay. Jeans. Jeans protect you. They keep your legs warm. They protect your legs from the outside environment, from getting dirty. Um, yeah, it's protection again. And this is like lower level protection, right? This is like root chakra area, right? So like once again, foundations, right? Genes are foundational protection. They protect the lower half of your body, the foundational part of your body, because what do your legs do? Well, they allow you to stand up and to stabilize yourself and to move in a stable way. It is the foundational part of your body in a way. Salt. Salt is a purifying element. It is often used in like magic and rituals as a once again a barrier, right? Um, so yeah, once again, this idea of protection and like well also cleansing. We rely on salt as a foundational nutrient, right? It's something we have to have, or mineral, I guess, um, in our body because if it allows like the electrical signals to be transmitted, like if we didn't have salt, we would just be like frozen, like we wouldn't be able to move, as far as I understand it. Stranger, yeah, stranger, Rafina, we just met. Right as I was starting this reading, I just noticed. And now Rafina is climbing to the top of my little tripod. Like, Rafina is so free right now. Like, when I first noticed Rafina, they were just standing completely still. Like, we were both kind of like petrified for a moment because I was like, what is that? And Rafina was probably thinking, what is that? But now we are both just chilling here, and Rafina is exploring this new, all these new things, climbing to the tops of new heights. Um, yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, and Uranus is kind of this like a bit of a foreign, it's like this energy that comes in out of nowhere and kind of disrupts your environment a little bit, and maybe makes you feel uneasy on I just realized it's an oppositional energy to the fourth house because Uranus is the disruptor, right? The foundation changer. And so strangers can do that. They can shake foundations. They come in, like for example, in a workplace, somebody new comes in and they completely change the environment. Maybe they have new skills that are brought in and it shakes things up for better or for worse, who's to say. But yeah, it's a disruptive energy for sure. And then finally office, yeah, this idea of work. Yeah. Some of you could be a stranger in a new office. Maybe you're getting a new job or you're taking on a new role, a new official role of some kind. That's coming through with stranger in office. Maybe that's what all this protective energy coming through is about. You're about to step into, Rafina. Oh no. I don't really know what's going on, but Rafina is like dancing. Rafina kind of fell off of the tripod, and I'm not sure if Rafina is injured or stunned a little bit. They're kind of dancing. I don't know. Something unexpected. Yeah. They seem to be okay. Stabilizing. Yeah. So once again, imagine you are Rafina, this assassin bug, and you're climbing up this like little tripod thing, and then you just fall off. Like that's kind of an unexpected event, right? You don't expect to fall off. You don't expect to lose your stability and find yourself like maybe a little bit stunned and in this new environment that you weren't heading towards. Yeah. Okay. This is very cool energy. Uranus is definitely one of my favorite planets. I woke up at like 4:30 this morning, couldn't go back to sleep, so I was like, I'll just meditate and connect to Uranus because I knew I was going to be doing a reading for, based on Uranus's energy today. And it was like an hour and a half, maybe longer. Because I had this video I played that was like a Uranus frequency sound video on YouTube and just listened to that. And I think it was a little more than an hour and a half long. And I listened to the whole thing all the way from beginning to end. And I even meditated a little bit longer after it ended. So, but while I was connecting to that energy, I was sitting kind of like this with my, crisscross applesauce, as the kids say. Uh, in my head, I couldn't feel the orientation of my head. Like I couldn't tell if I was like this or like this or like this. And it felt like my head was spinning. And Uranus is really interesting because it rotates like this. Like the top and the bottom are like constantly like kind of doing this slowly, whereas most planets have like a sideways, like an axial rotation, like the Earth, or like Venus. I think Venus is like pretty solid. It kind of turns like this. But Uranus is the only one, as far as I'm aware, that rotates in like this kind of manner. So it's really this like doing things differently kind of energy, like not doing them the way everybody else does it. And I felt that very strongly, especially in like my head. It literally felt like my brain was like disoriented and like spinning, kind of like Rafina is acting right now. Yeah. So there's this a little bit of a disorienting energy. You might find yourself in a new environment, in a new role that you've never taken on before. And you really need to one, be aware of all the protective energies that are around you already and how they have helped you get to this point, and two, shore up those defenses, right? Because when you're feeling disoriented, the best thing to do is try to ground yourself, come back to your center and feel stabilized. Tap into that fourth house energy, those foundations, and let yourself reorient in this new environment and adapt. Yeah, adapt. Take as much time as you need too. Um, because sometimes if we get disoriented, it can take a minute to get back to that solid, sturdy feeling. And that's okay, you know? You got to allow things to take as long as they need to take. Don't rush. Don't rush it. Biggest lesson I've learned this year by far is you got to let things play out the way they're going to play out. You can't force it. You can't rush it. Otherwise, you're going to break it, you know? Okay, let's get some advice and then we'll close this reading out. This one was a fun one. I've been having fun with this. Okay, we're just going to do 4 again. So, Spirit, what advice do we have for this kind of stabilized, kind of destabilized, in between, right? This like balanced between like chaos and structure that we're feeling right now. See advice. What? How can we proceed? Thank you. Wow. Okay. Harass, need, punch, fade. Okay. I feel like we're getting a bit of a warning along with this advice. Um, so harass. You may feel like you're being harassed at some level. Like there's some pests, like I said, right? You got to let those assassin bugs take care of those pests for you. But yeah. So there is kind of this harassing, and it's like an active thing, right? Because these are verbs. So this is like something that is being done, or something you are doing. Potentially, maybe you are harassing someone on some level. Harassment is not like always a very negative thing, although it is often perceived that way. It depends on the circumstances, right? But sometimes you do have to like harass people to get the answers that you need. For example, if your vehicle is in a shop and you haven't heard anything for like 2 weeks, you know, well, for one, I would at least check in every week, you know, but that's just me. But you have to kind of harass them, right? You have to call, you have to bug them and be like, "Hey, I need some updates. What's going on? Are you falling behind? Like, when am I going to get my vehicle back?" Because it's kind of important, especially if you need to get around. You don't have other means of getting around if the public transportation is not very good in your area, or you rely on your vehicle for work, or you know that kind of harassment. Of harassing is somewhat necessary to get the things you need, right? Need in order. Yeah. So that's the kind of harassing I'm feeling here. So the advice might be that you might have to harass someone to get what you need. You know, don't let them forget about you. You know, you strike that pony pose, right? Show up in all your elegance. Be nice, but you can harass people and be nice about it. Essentially, what this is coming through to me as is like, don't let them forget about you. Don't let them put you on the back burner. You know, and then punch. This is like in your face energy. It's very like Mars. Also, I mean, Mars and Uranus are kind of connected, right? Because the Tower card is connected to Uranus and Mars. Because traditionally, I think it was associated with Mars, and now people have kind of connected it to the energy of Uranus and what Uranus represents. But yeah, a punch like this is like giving me punch out of nowhere, right? Like just like an unexpected punch, that Uranus unexpected event, right? Just like a bam, like Rafina falling off of this tripod. Like Rafina probably wasn't expecting. Which, by the way, Rafina is fine. Rafina is now climbing on my audio interface knobs, kind of emphasizing this idea of sound, making noise, right? Being heard. And actually, I just remembered in my meditation, I saw it's a cardioid. It's called a cardioid pattern, but essentially it's a pickup pattern, right? It's a type of pattern that microphones use in order to capture sound. I don't know exactly how they work. I just know it kind of looks like a toroid field, if you know what that looks like in a way, but like smooth on the top, so it like kind of does like this. Just look up cardioid patterns, and you'll see. You know what? I could show you. it feels pretty relevant to what I'm saying right now, so we'll just look it up. Yeah, cardioid pattern is a type of microphone pickup pattern that is most sensitive to sound coming from the front and least sensitive to sound coming from the back, resembling a heart shape. This pattern is commonly used in microphones for recording vocals and instruments as it effectively isolates the desired sound source while minimizing background noise. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh, here, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, so it kind of does like this, kind of like a butt, right? Once again, energy of the butt coming through from the judgment card and now from this cardioid pattern. But yeah, so once again, this idea of being heard, right? Of harassing those that you need to harass in order to get what you need. You might have to. This energy might be kind of punchy, right? You might have to really put yourself out there, like, hey, I'm here. Don't forget about me. I'm willing to fight for what I need. That's yeah, punch. It's this energy of like fighting for what you need. And then finally, fade. Fade. Oh, okay, we'll take those. Stack just fell out. I'll take them. That's another stack. I'm going to take the first stack. Three of Swords. Fade. Three of Swords. Yeah, Fade is giving me this, like, being forgotten about. Like, fading out of awareness. Let's see what's coming through for that. We have Page of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, and Death. Fade, right? Death. Yeah, Pentacles are the slowest moving energy, Earth energy, slowest moving element, right? So I'm getting this idea of a really slow transition because death is all about change and transformation. And fade is, when something fades out, generally it's a very smooth, you can have a fast one, but when you think fade, it's kind of like a smooth, very slow energy. And so death with the Page of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Oh, oh, Rafina is right in front of me now. Hi, Rafina. I'm trying to give you your space. No frets here. Yeah, Rafina is just slowly making their way across the edge of the table right here. I don't know if that's picking up on the camera, but yeah, there's like a slow fade, right? Even Rafina is just kind of like leisurely taking their time, just walking right in front of me. Maybe a little bit nervous, not gonna lie. Um, After this reading is over, I'm going to get a cup and a card and transfer Rafina outside where they can have food and do the things that they need to do. But yeah, um, oh, sorry, Rafina fell. I think they're fine. I'll pick them up. I'm gonna close this out now. So, this idea of sharing, right? Something, well, for one, you might have like somebody new bringing you in an opportunity of some kind, but it has something to do with sharing. This could be your skills, your abilities, your know-how, because knowledge can be a very tangible thing in a lot of ways. It has a real world impact, right? But this can also be a sharing of resource, like actual physical resources, kind of like I was saying earlier. That was coming through. Um, there's a big change in the way that resources are shared and offered up in your environment that affects your foundations, your stability, your ability to offer to for you to offer things and to express yourself. Yeah, once again, you're receiving something. You're giving and receiving. It's both. It goes both ways, which is what the Six of Pentacles represents. It's both. This person is giving, this person is receiving. So, and there's the little bit of sadness surrounding this. Rufina is very close to my little ball I'm sitting on. I don't want to roll over them. Oh, okay. I'm going to. Oh, no. Sorry. Okay. I have caged Rufina so that they don't get squashed. Uh, I'll take them outside. I'm wrapping up right now. Okay. So, with this fade, right? There's a bit of sadness associated with this transformation. And there usually is. Usually there is a change in perspective, right? Because swords are mental energy, but this is also related to the heart space. So your thoughts around this transition might cause you some emotional pain, some sadness, right? At some level. Um, but it's going to allow you to reflect on the situation, on how things are. And it seems like overall it's a good thing because it's bringing in this ability to share better, right? To share more of who you are. Yeah, I mean, the archetypes say it all. Offering eternal child medallion. Giving and receiving becomes more fluid. I'm kind of surprised the tower didn't come out here, but it's interesting because it's like it's almost like whatever this unexpected, out of the normal energy that does come in and shakes things up, it's not really like necessarily a tower moment. It's more of like a something is there that you realize is there, like Rafina, and then it changes things. Slow, like a slow fade into a new way. And this change facilitates a better sharing of resources, of information, a new way, right? Page of Pentacles of doing this, fresh new way of doing this. So don't be afraid to harass people if you need to, and be a bit punchy about it, right? Get get up in people's faces if you need to. You got to remind them, hey, I'm here. Don't forget about me. You're doing something for me. Don't forget. Don't put me on the back burner. Don't let me fade out of your conscious awareness. You know. So there might be something going on there. It could also be on the other side of this fading out of this harassing feeling, this need to be confrontational, or like you need to defend yourself or you need to fight, right? This harassing feeling that you might have inside you could also see this from that angle. And honestly, for me, that feels more appropriate at this time. Um, it's like a fade, a little bit of a fade on the boundaries, right? Like it's good to have boundaries, but you can also, when you become more comfortable, you can kind of lower those boundaries a little bit and let things like share more of your environment, right? Share more of your resources, more of who you are. Um, yeah. So ultimately, the advice here is let things change naturally, slowly but surely, right? The horse is coming through again here. But also, look, that horse is kind of prancing too, kind of strutting its stuff, right? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's almost the same from the front there. I mean, look at those front legs. So we had the death energy coming through from the very beginning. Yeah. Allow things to slowly transform and change and shapeshift. Your environment is changing. Your something to do with your fourth house is changing in a big way, but very slowly, almost imperceptibly, maybe. Um, and yeah, it's going to be a good thing. It's going to allow you to share more and to experience more new things, more new opportunities, which is great, which is fantastic. So that's all I have. I'm going to go take care of Rafina, put Rafina back out in nature where they can eat. And yeah, thank you for being here. As always, take care of yourselves. Keep your heart open. Bye.